Hi, how are you? My name is Houston, and welcome back to another video. Don't quit your job. I'm serious. Just please don't quit your job. So many of us have hobbies that we do outside of our day job. There are likely a great deal of us who wish that that hobby would be our full-time job. But there are the select few that would prefer to separate the job that they use to support themselves from the hobbies that they do outside of work for fun. There are also those people who are fortunate enough to have that thing that they love to do, that hobby, turn into their job, and they do it full time. I don't think that there's necessarily any right or wrong way to live your life when it comes to working for a living and what kind of job you do or what kind of hobbies you pick up. I mean, obviously, there are some hobbies that, from the outside at least, look a little bit more productive than other hobbies. And I guess you would have to define what you think a hobby is. For instance, many people play video games as a hobby. I play a lot of video games on this channel. I'm playing Animal Well right now. I got 2 of the flames, by the way. I'm assuming that I need to get the seahorse one and the cat one. So I'm going to go for the cat one because I think that I know where it is. So first I'll explain my situation, and then I'll explain why I say don't quit your job. There are a lot of people who work really tough jobs, or they work jobs that they really just do not want to work. And outside of that job, they have a hobby. Let's say that hobby is content creation, something like making gaming videos, like what I'm doing, for instance. It would be completely ridiculous of me to quit my job and then try and make ends meet, try and make all of my bills work with just the money that I make from content creation. And I don't make like any money from content creation, like this much right here. But I think that there's this massive misconception that if you quit your job, you will work harder at whatever it is you're going to do. So, you know, if I'm making like 1 YouTube video a month because I'm just working my day job so much, but if I quit my job, then I'm going to make so many more YouTube videos. You might think that if you quit your job, that you're automatically going to work harder. And you know what? That does happen with some people. Like, some people really get that fire lit under their ass by quitting their job, and they go really hard. But you know what? They get lucky too. And that's the thing that so many people do not think about. My situation is that I work 40 to 50 hours a week. I've been doing it for a long time. I work construction. Some days are a lot harder than others. Like today was very difficult. I worked 10 and a half hours and I went to the gym after work, and then I made dinner, and now I'm here recording a video, and it's 8 o'clock at night and I go to bed at like 9:30. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record this video and then I'm going to edit it tomorrow. But that's the ideal situation. What I actually did was work 10 and a half hours today, but I made a sacrifice. I went to the gym yesterday. So I said, okay, I'm going to use today as a rest day since I worked later today. On top of that, I didn't even make dinner. I was like, you know what? Chipotle's right there. So I'm going to get that too. I only did that because I thought, if I make these 2 exchanges tonight, so I worked longer, I worked harder, but I'm not going to go to the gym. I'm going to utilize a rest day because honestly, my coach told me to rest today. So that's the only reason I didn't go to the gym. I also saved a little bit of time by not cooking dinner tonight so I could get this video recorded. And the reality of all this is that you have to make sacrifices like that to make any of this stuff work. And I know that, and I haven't even made it with this stuff. So maybe you think, oh, okay, well, I don't really care to take your advice at all then, because if you haven't made it doing the thing that you want to do, then why are you talking about what I should do? And you know what? That's a good point. Maybe I shouldn't. And you know what? I think you might be totally valid in that, because at the end of the day, a lot of people say you shouldn't listen to somebody who isn't where you want to be. Cool. Fair enough. But I think that there is a way of living, a way of going about these things that is pretty universal, and I think that you can get that from anyone. You can do things most days because it's inevitable that you're not going to be able to do the things that you want to do every single day. I'm just gonna let the dog rip me apart like a fucking chew toy. Kill me. Kill me, rip me apart, do it. The thing that really The thing that really made me think of this is that I see a fair amount of like younger content creators where they're like arguing with their parents because they said that they want to like quit community college, or they said that they want to stop working their normal job, or just like their job that they have. And these kids are like 17 years old. They're like, they're still living at home. I think it's just insane to try and completely like throw all safety nets out of the window. Like, that stuff isn't realistic. It happens in the movies, which is a good indicator that it will probably not work for you. It's ridiculous to think that any of the stuff that is worth doing, any of the stuff that you really, really want, like being a content creator, isn't going to be difficult. Like, yeah, working a full-time job and doing content creation in any sense is very hard. It's not supposed to be easy. It's like I was saying, on a perfect day, I would go to work, and then I'd come home, I'd go to the gym, I'd record a video, and I'd edit it, and yada, yada, yada. I'd do all that in the same exact night. That's the thing that makes it so worth it, is that when you do finally find the time to do those things that you really love to do, it's just so much better. It feels good to complete things like that. So when I say don't quit your job, I'm not saying that you should always work 2 jobs or 3 jobs, or you should always slave away at a day job to pay bills and then just be a starving artist or anything like that. Everyone should be able to find that thing and be able to do it and be able to be satisfied with their life and how they spend their time. But if there's one thing that the internet has kind of just melted people's brains over, it's the fact that you have to do all that stuff by the time you're like 18 years old. You know what I mean though? I've mostly grown out of that pressure to like be this, I don't know, this quote unquote successful facade, or show this successful side of me, whatever, on social media. I think that it's just sad when kids get so wrapped up. I mean, it happens to adults too. I mean, you have people that just show off and flaunt on social media for what seems like no reason, but that's kind of beside the point. The P flame. So I think the last flame is just, it's all the way down here, which I do not know how to get to. I'm assuming like maybe that area right there, or I don't know. This map is not filled in enough for me having 3 out of 4 items. I don't know if I need to explore more, but I feel like this whole area right here, I'm pointing at my screen, but yeah, it's just completely undiscovered as of yet. In my opinion, what really gives you more right to be proud of the things you've accomplished is when you know that you showed up to do those things just a little bit every single day, and then you still managed to make it happen in the end. Because it is, dude, it's really hard to work a long day, to do your homework, and then to make a YouTube video, or even to make a short. Here's an example from my own personal life. I did the math, and just long form videos, and if you've seen any of my other videos, you know that my videos can be pretty long. Like, they can be, you know, 15 to 20 minutes long normally. So over the past year, I have averaged 3 videos a month. So that's 36 videos in 1 year, all while working 40 to 50 hours, or even more some weeks. Also, that's not even including short form content, like all the Instagram reels and, you know, shorts and TikToks that I've made. There is a way to do all the stuff that you want to do. It's just the thing that you have to realize is that you're probably not going to be able to do everything at the same time. There are some days where you won't be able to make a video. There are some days where you should probably do your homework every day, let's be honest. Even on those days where you feel like you shouldn't do your homework, you still have to have a hierarchy of things in your schedule. You always want to have that plan B. Like, and that's the main reason you shouldn't quit your job, because if the content creation doesn't work out, let's say you actually have to pay rent. You know, if you're living at home, it's one thing, but if you are an adult, right? You're in your 20s or even further along, and you think quitting your job is a good idea, and you're going to somehow pay rent, pay your car payment, whatever, pay all your bills with, you know, you're just going to make it work. That's just ridiculous. Don't listen to anybody that tells you to like quit your job, sell your bed, whatever, all that bullshit. This does sound like an old guy thing to say, but you will be thankful of the grit and the resilience that you gain by keeping that day job as you do that creative endeavor. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that you don't have to do things daily, every day, but you should do them daily-ish, as the author Oliver Burkeman would say. It's completely fine to do something like 3 times a week. Let's say you've had a busy week. It's completely fine to do something maybe once a week. Maybe it's a super, super busy week. So many people are under the impression that they have to have a freelancer's time when they're not a freelancer. As always, I think it's really important to mention that through all this stuff, you should just be kind to yourself. Don't be lenient. Like, be strict with yourself, tolerant with others, as Marcus Aurelius would say. But being strict doesn't mean being mean. And the more you understand where that line is, especially with yourself, I think the more productive you can be with whatever it is you're trying to do. Getting good at something, cultivating a following, finding your identity, changing your behavior, building your hobby, whatever it is you're trying to do. All these things take time. In some cases, they take a lifetime. And you shouldn't let that discourage you. You should let it motivate you in a way where you think of your life as this unraveling canvas to be experienced. You get the ability to think about what you want to do. You get the ability to learn new things every single day, whether it have to do with that hobby that you're trying to cultivate or, you know, anything else. Maybe you learn a better way to treat people. Maybe you learn a better way to speak. Maybe you learn a better way to write. And all these things can be very exciting when you frame them properly. Like I said, this stuff might seem really obvious to like an older person, but to the young kids who always want to quit their job and they want everything right away, that instant gratification, just keep reminding yourself that good things take time, and that's not a bad thing. All that work that you put in, and not even in like a grind set hustle way, all that stuff is going to add up. It's like stacking bricks. Before you know it, you have a whole entire brick wall, or you have a whole entire brick house. Every little thing that you do can complement the thing that you did before it if you do it in the right way. There's a lot of beauty in progress like that and in the journey, and you can really find it with anything. As always, thank you for listening. I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next one.